Hi, friends. Welcome back to Manifesting Money. Today, I am so excited to share something special with you, my full set of debt and savings tracker pages. They're designed to help you start 2025 with clarity, focus, and intention. And the best part is they're completely free to download and use. So whether you're paying down debt, building up your savings, or a little bit of both, these pages will help you track your progress, stay motivated throughout the year. Let me walk you through each one so we can see how they work and how they can fit into your financial journey. All right, friends. So today I felt super inspired to draw a tarot card before starting off on this. And y'all, I can't make this stuff up. I drew the Six of Pentacles, and because sometimes I don't trust my own interpretations, I will refer to the little book, and I have to read this to you because I just was floored. The Six of Pentacles, it's all about the money. Maybe you've had a stream of good luck and you're rolling in it and relishing this newfound wealth. Be generous, but also be careful not to fall into bad spending habits. You should see a good windfall soon, so use it wisely. Either way, be conscious of your attitude towards money and be wary you're not supporting mentally unhealthy habits. Y'all, and this is from the Modern Witches Tarot. I just could not have picked a more perfect card for us today. So without further ado, let's get into it. So as I've said before, I like to set up two different notebooks for my budgeting. One of them is going to be my Budget by Paycheck book, and the other one is going to be all of my savings and debts. So let me get us looking here. And we're going to switch into screen view to make it a little bit easier for you to see this. So here we are. This is my cover page. First up, I have an annual spending tracker. So this is broken down into 6 months just because I wanted enough space to write everything. And so there's the first 6, here's the second 6. The beautiful thing about doing it digitally is that I can just take this whole thing, copy it, and paste it so that boom, there we go. So that's all set up. So on the last day of the month, I will go through and add up all the totals from all of my categories for the month and just make a note of it here because I think it's helpful to see going forward which months I have higher spending than others and just to kind of get the overall picture. Next up on my list, I created a credit score tracker because I think it's super helpful to, especially as you're working to pay off debt, any metric that can get you excited about your progress or seeing how well you've been doing is always going to be of benefit in my book. So this is broken down into months. And I even put the little cheat sheet up here where if your score is 300 to 579, it's red, yellow, green, and so on. Next up, we've got your overall debt snapshot. So this worksheet is going to come in handy, first of all, just to kind of see where you're at with all of your debt. I'm going to fill in my totals as of the first of the year, just so I have those very accurate. And then using this, you can kind of start to figure out how you want to go about attacking the debt that you have. So down here, I have instructions on how to look at either a debt avalanche or a debt snowball. And then the priority of your debt there based on if you either want to pay off the highest interest rate first or the highest balance first, or the lowest balance first, which I'm sure is also my Capital One card. But the plan is that you pay off one card and then you roll that minimum payment into your next debt so that you're constantly paying more and more and more on the debt that you have until it's all paid off. So this is a great way to kind of organize and start thinking about your debt repayment plan. Next up, I have these worksheets for your monthly debt payment progress. So I'm going to do one of these for every single month. And these are the 3 debts that I'm focused on the most. These are my short-term debt. So this is going to be my Discover personal loan, my credit card, and my car payment. At the end of the month, I'm going to write down what my balance is. Here, there's a spot to record any of the extra payments that you make and then your total payments of the month. So my goal is to pay at least 650 total payments. The first of them are definitely going to go to my Capital One credit card. But then down here, it breaks it all down for you. So this would be the last month total debt balance, which I will have at the end of December. this month's total debt balance, which will be at the end of January. And then it's got some math to look at your progress, the percentage of your debt you've paid off. And then this, when I started my journey, was November year before last. So November 2023. So this is what I started with in my short-term debt. So it's fun to kind of see where my overall process is. I will copy this page month after month and do it for the whole year. Next up, I have a graph checker here because, again, any visual that's going to help me be excited about paying down this debt is going to be super helpful. So I looked at the most debt that I had overall and started that as my topmost number, and then just did the math to fill this out until I got all the way down to 0. So every month, at the end of the month, the beginning of the month, I haven't decided yet, maybe the beginning of the month because it's fun to fill out, I will find where I am, add a dot, and then as the months go by, I will, see the debt go down in theory and hope. Not theory and hope, we're doing it. We're making it happen. The debt is going down. The next one that I have is a kind of credit card payment that I just learned about, which is super fascinating. It's when you look at your credit utilization and figure out your payment plan from there. This is especially useful if you're trying to get your utilization down because you're trying to get your credit score to improve. Like if you know you have to buy a car or you're trying to apply for a loan, the lower your utilization is, the better your credit score is going to be. So this kind of tells you what you have to have paid off to have these things. So this is what your balance would have to be utilizing. So if I want to get 9% utilization, I have to get this balance down to around 360. And that math is all down here for you. And I've even created a worksheet for that as well, where you would put in the card name, your credit limit, the interest rate, and then your current utilization. I don't have that because I want to fill this out the first of the year when I have that number. What your goal utilization is, just because I like a short-term goal. Like it's going to take me a while to figure out the whole complete debt payment, but this might give me a short-term goal that is exciting to work towards. And then here on the side, I have all of the steps to do the math. I will probably do a separate video specifically on this worksheet because it can be a little bit confusing and it's not necessarily the right payoff plan for everybody. Like I said, this is specifically if you're trying to get your credit score up by getting your credit utilization down. Next up, I've got my short-term debt tracker. I have one of these for each of my short-term debt. This is for my Capital One card. So January 1st, I'll put my starting balance. End of the month, I will record how much payment I made on that. Oh, typo. I'm going to fix that. How much I paid on it, and then what my ending balance is, and just keep track of this. I have on here an estimated payoff date. There are websites and trackers you can use that will account for your minimum payment plus the amount you plan on paying towards it, like with your debt Snowball or your debt Avalanche. That will give you an estimated payoff date so that you can know what you can kind of expect. And then as you make more payments and you get to erase that and make it sooner and sooner. Oh, so satisfying. So again, I have one of these set up for each of my short-term and long-term debt trackers. Long-term is going to be like my mortgage, my student loan. I created an emergency fund tracker where each dollar is $10. So coloring in each little dollar means you've saved $10 towards your goal of $1,000. So when you have all the little dollars colored in, you have saved $1,000. I also created a chart for my investments because I'm trying to make a more conscious effort towards investing, putting that little bit of extra money in places where it's going to turn into more and more money. So I've kind of started off with where I know I am about now. So first of the month, we'll make a note, and then hopefully we'll just see this go up and up and up and up and up. And then I also created a worksheet for net worth, which is your assets minus your liabilities, and that equals your net worth. Assets here are going to be like your checking account, savings accounts, your 401k, if you have any other investments, your home value, those all go under assets. And then your liabilities are going to be all of your debt. So credit card debt, long-term debt, all goes there. And then it's assets minus liabilities equals your net worth. I set a goal to have a net worth of 100K I don't know how long that's going to take me, but it is a goal. It's a big goal. We're manifesting it, baby. So the first chart I have here, I have this quarterly because I don't expect to see a lot of change month to month. And this helps me keep in the mindset that investments and stocks and things like that is a long-term investment strategy. You don't really expect to see a lot of change month to month, but year to year, 5 to 5 years, that's when you're really going to start seeing improvements. So I have it to my first 70K of net worth here, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that just go up and up and up. Next one that I have here, which I don't know if I even have this one. This one's very specific to me and my kids. I set aside money for their chore payments. They earn chore money. They don't just get a flat amount just for existing. They have to earn it by doing things around the house. So I set their full amount aside every month. They can cap out at $35 a month for each of them. And they have to get a minimum of $15. So they have to do enough chores to earn $15 before I pay them out. So I always have that money set aside, whether they've made their payout or not. And if whatever they haven't made, I move that into a sinking fund for bills and stuff like that. Last up here on my list, let me just give this a little rotation here. I have a sinking fund tracker. So sinking funds, when you're fully digital, can be a little bit tricky because you're not physically putting dollars in envelopes. There's more math involved and it's a little bit harder to see. So I have listed all of my sinking funds here. And then every month, my plan is to write down the total amount that I have set aside for those and then do the account total, because I keep all of my sinking funds in a high yield savings account, because while that money is sitting and waiting for its friends, I want it to be collecting interest for me. I'm a big fan of making my money make more money without me having to do anything. So by keeping all of these in one high yield savings account, including my emergency fund, all of that is doing is just earning interest. It's just creating more money just from sitting there. So, and I'll do this once we have the first of the month come up. I'll go through all of these and show you how it's going to work. And then to keep track of these on an individual level, I have a page for each one of my sinking funds with the category, the category name, how much I need, when I need it by, and then so I would calculate how many months I have to save it and how much I would need each month. And then I can write the date. I can just write the description if it's a deposit or withdrawal, the amount, and keep track of the balance. And then at the end of the month, I would take this balance, record it on my sinking fund tracker, and use those totals to figure out, to match it, to make sure that what I have in my account is what I'm supposed to. So I have a page for each of my sinking funds. There are a few of them. The last page that I have here is a savings going up page, which you could do the same way if you wanted to track your emergency fund or even just your savings account in general. You want to keep track of that. Same thing. You put the dates across the bottom and then amounts this way, and then just, watch it go up. So that is very quickly all of the sheets that I have created so far for my savings and debt notebook. Come the first of the month is when I'll have the values to put in. So we will revisit all these pages, come back together, we'll fill them out together, and then you can kind of see in more detail how they're going to be working. Let me know what your savings goals are for the year. I'm very excited to see what we're able to accomplish. And I'm very happy to have you here. So if any of these trackers are ones you're going to use, let me know. Also, if you have any sheets that you would like to see or questions about any of the things that I'm doing here, hit me in the comments below. I'd love to see it so we can all get on the same page and have an amazing year, manifesting our money, gaining wealth, paying off debt, increasing our net worth. Let's go. I'm very excited. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for subscribing and coming back and leaving comments. I'm so happy to see you all here. I cannot wait to see what we do together. Thank you again for watching. We'll see you next time.